Welcome to a couple of Bunkies.
We recently upgraded our kitchen knife set. We purchased some Werther knives, known to be some of the best in the United States. Werther Cutlery is not sponsoring us for this video, but I must say these knives are the best that we've ever had.
Just like any other quality knives, these knives had to be placed in a wooden enclosure or what they call a knife block. And that's where we ran into a problem. Hey Tim, these don't fit! We need to make a new one!
And here we are down in the shop, taking some measurements and trying to figure out how we're going to put this thing together. I start with squaring off some cherry boards that I had already planed.
Once squared up, we resawed the board. And then we planed the resawed faces. I like how the boards turn out at the planer, nice and flat. Speaking of liking, I hope you're liking our content. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon to get notified for our future videos. We appreciate your dialogue on our social media pages. Links are in the description below.
Next, Aditi used the knives as a template in order to mark where she wanted the grooves in the knife board. While Aditi did that, I went ahead and set a stop block on my table saw fence, knowing I would be using it in the next cut. After making those marks, she marked how long the cut needed to be in order to fit the knives in the knife board.
Tim set the stop block at the length of the first groove and made the first cut.
Since I still don't own the SawStop dado blade mechanism, I had to make several passes with the table saw in order to make the grooves wide enough so a knife can fit in.
Tim adjusted the stop block to the length of each knife and repeated the process for the grooves.
After everything was cut, we had a quick dry fit just to see how the knives would look inside of the block. If you're interested in supporting our channel, please consider buying us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com.
Right now we just have knives set in a groove and a board pressed against them, but oh wow, it looks really good.
We tend to do these small projects on the weekend, and our cat and dog really missed us, so they visited us in the shop. We are not happy how thin and light the project ended up being, so we took a thicker piece of board in order to attach it to the other side.
Tim adjusted his fence matching the first board that we cut grooves in to cut his thicker board, so both boards match exactly perfectly.
I took out a surface I was going to use for gluing. I set the table saw fence so I could support the project while using a chisel to smooth out the grooves made by the edge blade of the table saw.
Tim went over the grooves with a Dremel to smooth out any other roughness just before gluing up the project.
I'm using an interior type bond and a CA glue in order to hold this together so it doesn't have a long dry time. I put the boards together and set it aside so they would dry. We lost footage of us rounding over the edges.
After putting a coat of mineral oil on the board, the cherry popped up beautifully. It also contrasts and complements the knife handles.
We could have said at this point that this project was complete, but we really wanted to incorporate our new Monport Laser into this project. My wife and I are a big fan of large cats. I have several paintings that I had made in the past on these large cats. I wanted to incorporate a tiger into this knife board, and this is what we ended up choosing as an image to go off of. So we went ahead and put it inside of the computer and let the Monport Laser cut it out of a thin piece of cherry. If you're interested in getting into CO2 laser engraving, I would strongly recommend this model for beginners and hobbyists. The link is in the description below, And please use Timothy 6 in checkout if you do consider buying this. This will give you a 6% discount on checkout. I think my biggest surprise while using this was its ability to do 3D cuts. And here is the final reveal. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. Ring the bell icon for further notifications when we release a video. We usually release videos every Thursday at 6 p.m.